Hello everyone, I'm Rodney Reynolds. I'm out for another walk today. It's November the 14th, 2022. It's colder today. It's 4 degrees here. I have all my gear on. I was actually going to take my laptop with me and sit out, but it's too cold for that, and answer some of the questions that I haven't gotten to over the last couple of weeks. The site was, the YouTube channel was hacked a couple weeks ago, and haven't really had a chance to get to any of them. And the first one that I was going to tackle was one comment pertaining to a video that I did regarding a robot that can now fold clothes, and it folds clothes in record time. I mean, we have machines doing, well, a lot of things for us these days, right? I mean, dishwashers are nothing new. Clothes washers, clothes dryers. I'm going to wash the clothes. No, not really. You just throw in the clothes, throw in some detergent or whatever, turn it on, come back, throw it in the dryer, take it out, and now you won't even have to fold it. You can get a robot to do it. But this comment was about, how I think humans have become, dumber, and robots have become better. And I don't know if I completely agree with that comment, because while robots are definitely becoming better, and they will over time, and when quantum computing comes along, Jesus, will God help us all when that happens, because who knows, quantum computing is very, very complicated. It's very powerful. It's kind of how our brains actually work. So, but anyway, I mean, computing power has come a long way, and that's part and parcel why robots are so efficient and effective these days, are certainly doing mundane tasks. Humans becoming dumber? I don't know about that. I think humans are becoming lazier because of all of these conveniences and automated systems and robots that we have. That's what I think. I think now in this day and age, there's more information at your fingertips, literally. Not all of it's correct, but it's validated with sources, so you can get a lot of really good, correct, accurate, astounding information online, and that's informative. So, and if you're informed, and you listen and you process it, you become knowledgeable, right? Again, it has to be a legitimate source you're getting it from, otherwise it's all fake, and it's not correct and whatnot. So I don't know if we're getting dumber, we're just getting lazier. I mean, if you look at, and I'm not targeting anyone here in particular, and this is not a rampage, or this is not a me raging about the system or any of that stuff. And I don't think really things are as bad as what some people might make them out to be. I don't think the world's going to end, and we're going to kill the planet. I think when it comes to environmental crisis, I think over the next 10, 20, 30 years, we're going to rectify that problem. The other issue is war. That's always going to be a problem, right? I mean, but it's pretty, today in the first world countries at least, it's pretty tame, it's pretty relaxed. You have a lot of security, so inflation, housing prices and all that stuff goes up and down in cycles, so comes and goes, and the other side of it is, I think these days a lot of people who have become lazy, it's probably not, in a way, they're choosing, although it's a lot of it has to do with all the modern conveniences that we have these days, and people's friends and coworkers and family members and stuff, and when you see them doing these things and chilling and just taking it easy, and maybe someone's working a 4-hour week and you're working a 60-hour week, and that person who's working 4 hours is making more money than you are, but maybe you're a part of the essential workers that are out there, and in fact you're probably contributing to the world much more than that person who is just trying to cheat and hack the system. And that's what I think a lot of, especially youth these days, want to do. They want to cheat and hack somehow the system to make it work for them. And in doing that, of course, that might benefit them for the short term, although if you have a lot of time on your hands, idle time is the devil's work, or so they say, right? But, is that the way that the majority of us should live or should be? Or probably not, because it probably will lead to a lot of mental health problems. And certainly there is a massive, massive spike in those. But that's just not because of, people staying home and not doing anything. I don't think that's part and parcel of it. But there's a lot of other family issues. There's a lot of other, social issues that's going on. They're whacked. They're completely and totally, they don't make any sense whatsoever. I think about some of the, social systems that are in place these days in first world countries. And it seems like they're against certain groups, and it doesn't seem like it's going in the right direction. But I hope at some point, that it will recorrect itself through pushback, nothing's perfect. Nothing is never going to be perfect. I mean, I understand that, and I'm sure you do as well. But, it's so, going back to this work ethic that not only the youth have, a lot of other people now have as well. And, here in Canada, I don't know about your country or where you live, but we have labor shortages. That's, that has something to do with the COVID, and probably people who are in the essential healthcare system particularly stressed out of their minds, and maybe they're close to retirement and they're saying, the hell with it, they're just to retire, which I understand completely. But there's not only in the healthcare system that there's labor shortages. There are labor shortages just about everywhere, almost in every single company. People just come and go, and I don't know exactly what they're doing. Maybe they have the luxury of staying at home and do nothing. I don't know, or maybe they're doing something online. And, but what I'm saying is whatever really works for you and what you think will contribute to yourself, your family, the world in the long term, maybe your kids. A lot of people don't think about the future, but, if you want to goof around all day and do nothing and cheat the system, what's your kids going to do? Are they going to have anyone to make them all the stuff and all the luxuries that we have now? Because you need laborers, right? You need doctors, police, firemen, you need nurses, you need all of that. You need specialized people and those people, it takes a long time, to study and to become a professional. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we haven't become dumber. We have become, unfortunately, exceptionally lazy. And I'm out today for a walk, and I go every day for a walk. I don't necessarily really, at first I didn't enjoy doing it, but now I do. When I go out for a walk, it's physical, right? Wouldn't it be nice to stay home and just eat all day and do nothing and be in shape and be fit and never ever have any health problems? But that's not the way it works. It's just not the way it works. And I think that's one thing about your body staying active, but it's also about your mind staying active. And if you have too much time on your hands, your mind is not going to be healthy. It's just not. I mean, I look at myself, for example, and if I go back a few generations, my father, my grandfather, and my great-great-grandfather, I didn't know my great-great-grandfather very well, but I mean, going back in his time was certainly a different time than my grandfather and my father and me and my kids, and then there's another generation coming up as well. So social networking is another, I think, detriment to youth, because they get a lot of ideas from that, and maybe they think they can be superstars online, and maybe you can, I don't know, but you need to first at least try and get some kind of, at least finish high school. I mean, do that at least, at minimum. And then, after that, decide what you want to do, Not everyone, is cut out for college or university or any kind of post-secondary education. I understand that. And you know what? A lot of times the jobs that you get after doing that are less paid than the jobs that go right out of high school and, like, for example, become, I don't know, a truck driver. You make 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks an hour, coach driver, or, something like that. I'm just using that as an example, but there are tons of jobs out there that you can make a ton of money where you don't need to have an education. Now, an education, of course, I think is a post-secondary education, certainly, I think is good in other respects, in academic fields, and if you want to become a professional, or maybe you just like studying and you want to become more academic, more like along those lines. And because university and those degrees and whatnot, they do culture you in a different way. So but it's not for everyone. It's just not. So this is a very long, drawn out answer to this comment, but I thought I would address it because this is kind of where I see it going. There's going to be more conveniences. There's going to be more automation, more robotics, and probably will mean fixed incomes, right, for some people, which is, I don't think is a good thing. Not at all. And I can't see how you can have a fixed income. Certainly you can't have one here in Southern Ontario. Houses are $1 million to $2 million each at minimum. Rent's like $2,000 a month in some places. You can't live off of fixed income certainly in this town or this city. And a lot of places are like that now. So there's no easy solution for sure. And I'm not saying, old days were better. I'm not saying that. I think we had more culture back then. I think we had more respect back then. I think we had more dignity. I think there was more morality back then. I think we've lost our way in a lot of respects. And, and the church is something else that's completely abandoned. And I'm not religious, so I'm not preaching that to you. But if you are, that's wonderful. But a belief system in something more powerful than you would probably give you a direction that I wouldn't give somebody else, for example. But, when people start saying that to me, I go, well, church, look at all the atrocities they have committed. So, that's one of the reasons why I never was faith-based. I really hope there's something else out there, and but I don't see how there is, based upon all of what I know and what I think to know. But who am I? Just a human being, right? But yeah, I think we need to get back to some kind of basics, and I really honestly don't see that ever happening again. We've gone on a different track, down a different road, down a different path. We've gone completely, and it's happened in rapid time, right? It's happened within 20, 30 years. There's been a massive shift on every front, on every, even socially, like it's just completely changed. And the world, I can see it. If you're young, the world is very, very confusing now. Because when I grew up, it was I think it was simpler somehow. We didn't have all this social garbage and phones and all that stress. There was just basically going out and running around with your friends, and if you're a guy, you're probably doing silly things, but you were bonding, you were being with your mates, right? You were socializing, you were developing those skills, and those skills, unfortunately, I believe, are being lost now. Parents do the best job they can, and it's difficult to tell a kid you can't go on your laptop, or you can't use social media, or you can't, there has to be, it's moderation, right? It's all about moderation, but it's like crack, right? This stuff. So once you get a little taste of it, it's difficult. And once you see your friends posting stuff and doing things and having stuff and all the rest of it, you might feel like you're lesser than them somehow, or something along those lines. But my suggestion to you is to get off social media completely. Just axe it, cut it entirely. I'm on it, but I don't live on it. I just check in from time to time. That's it. That's all there is. I never was really. I used it back in the day for business reasons, for the most part, but now I'm hardly ever on it. You know, I'm on TikTok, but I don't watch TikTok. I post videos. Same thing here with YouTube. I just post videos. I don't really, you know, if I have a question or something I'm interested in, sure, it's a great source of information, but that's it. That's all I use it for. So, but yeah, it's Nutsy world, and I think that we are hopefully starting to realize that maybe the direction that we're going into on so many fronts is inherently probably the wrong direction to go in. So, you know, but I guess, you know, that's been a dilemma throughout history, right? And this is something else. I mean, before the Industrial Revolution, to live as a human being, if you weren't a king or a queen, which we all are these days, or we live better than kings and queens, some of us, and but today, you know, we all live like that, and we forget about how hard we had it. It was brutal. It was barbaric. You know, it was hard times. Even in my grandfather's day and age, while they had a house and running water and all those amenities for the most part, they didn't have any super luxuries. And that's all we have today. It seems like today people define themselves with materialistic garbage, to be honest. You know, I have a Tesla, I'm better than you. I have a Jeep, I'm better than you. I have a Rolex watch, I'm better than you. And a lot of times, these folks who have all that stuff can't afford it, they're in debt. So, you know, don't think the grass is always greener because this person has a Tesla or this person seemingly is doing better than you. You know, how's their mental health? How's their physical health? So you really have to weigh all of this, you know. So yeah, I'm going to axe this video because it's going on way too long, almost 20 minutes by the looks of it. So, but yeah, I'm going to continue my hike here, and I will see you in the next one. Remember to hit the bell so you get notified when I release a new video. Subscribe, like, and share, and also consider becoming a Patreon. I will see you next time.